Welcome back to the mojo-gpu-puzzle series. Today we're tackling puzzle 6, blocks. In this puzzle, we'll learn how to process data that's larger than a single thread block by coordinating multiple blocks of threads working together. This is a fundamental pattern you'll use in nearly every GPU program you write. Let's dive in. By the end of this tutorial, you'll understand a few key ideas. How to calculate global thread indices that span across multiple blocks, how multiple blocks coordinate to process data larger than a single block, why bounds checking is essential when dealing with real-world data sizes. These concepts are the building blocks, pun intended, of all GPU programming. Once you master this pattern, you'll be able to scale your GPU code to handle datasets of any size. Let's define some key terms. A thread block is a group of threads that execute together on a streaming multiprocessor. In this puzzle, we have 4 threads per block. Block index identifies which block a thread belongs to. In our case, with 3 blocks, this ranges from 0 to 2. Thread index. This identifies a thread's position within its block. With 4 threads per block, this ranges from 0 to 3. Block dimension. The sizes of each block. Here it's 4 threads. Global index. The unique position of a thread across all blocks. This is what we need to calculate to know which data element each thread should process. We have 9 elements to process, but only 4 threads per block, so we need multiple blocks. I think of this like splitting up a pizza. I've got 9 hungry friends, but each pizza only has 4 slices. Then I'll need 3 pizzas to make sure that everybody gets a slice. In this puzzle, we've got a grid layout. We have 9 data elements, 0 through 8. We launch 3 blocks, each with 4 threads. Block 0 handles indices 0, 1, 2, 3. Block 1 handles indices 4, 5, 6, 7. Block 2 handles index 8. Notice it only needs 1 thread. The key formula is global index is equal to block dimension times block index plus thread index. Let's break this down with an example for thread 2 in block 1. Block dimension is 4. It's how many threads we have per block. Block index is 1. We're in block 1 currently. Thread index is 2. We're thread 2 within that block. So our global index, 4 times 1 plus 2 is 6. This thread processes element 6. Notice block 2, it has 4 threads, but only needs to process 1 element, index 8. The other 3 threads would try to access indices 9, 10, and 11, which don't exist. That's why we need a guard condition if I is less than size. Let's look at the code structure we're working with. In puzzles, P6, p6.mojo. These constants define our problem. Size is 9, we're processing 9 elements. Blocks per grid is 3, 1. We're launching 3 blocks in a one-dimensional grid. Threads per block, 4, 1. Each block has 4 threads. So the total threads launched, 3 times 4, that's 12 threads for 9 elements. Now let's look at the function signature. Add 10 blocks has an output that's an unsafe pointer, an input A that's an unsafe pointer, and size, which is an integer. Here we can see the global index calculation is already done for us. I gets blockDimension.x times blockIndex.x plus threadIndex.x. And then below that, there's 2 lines that we have to fill in. Here we'll need to add a bounds check and perform the actual computation. The main function sets up our test. Creates an output buffer that's initially all zeros, creates an input buffer with values 0 through 8, launches the kernel with our grid and block dimensions, and identifies the expected results, 10 through 18. That's all the input values with 10 added to each element. All right, let's implement the solution. We need 2 lines of code here. First, bounds checking. If I is less than size, this ensures we only process valid indices. This is crucial because we have 12 threads running, 3 blocks times 4 threads, but only 9 valid data elements. The threads with indices 9, 10, and 11 would cause errors without this bounds check. Line 2 is our computation. This is fairly straightforward. Output at index I gets A at index I plus 10 is straightforward. Read from input array A at position I, add 10 to that value, and write to output at the same position. Here's why this pattern works. Each thread knows its global position through I, accesses its assigned element, performs the operation independently, and writes back the result. There's no coordination needed between threads because each one processes completely independent data. The beauty of this pattern is that it scales. Whether you have 9 elements or 9 million elements, the same code works. You just adjust blocks per grid. Let's run a solution. pixi run p06. We can see the output host buffer has values 10 through 18, and the expected values are 10 through 18. Perfect. Every element was correctly incremented by 10. What just happened? All 12 threads launched simultaneously. Each of the first 9 threads processed one element, adding 10 to that element. The last 3 threads hit the bounds check and did nothing. The entire operation completed in parallel in microseconds. Let's recap what we've learned. Global indexing combines block and thread indices to give each thread a unique position across the entire dataset. Multiple blocks allows us to process data much larger than a single block's capacity. Bounds checking is essential when your total threads don't perfectly divide your data size. And this pattern scales. The same code works for any data size by simply adjusting the number of blocks. This fundamental pattern of global index calculation and bounds checking appears in virtually every GPU kernel you'll write. Master this and you've mastered one foundation of GPU programming. Great job completing Puzzle 6. You just learned one of the most important patterns in GPU programming. Up next, we'll look at Puzzle 7, that's 2-dimensional blocks. We'll extend the same pattern to 2 dimensions for processing matrices and images. If you found this helpful, please like and subscribe to follow along with the entire mojo-gpu-puzzles series. If you have questions or want to discuss GPU programming techniques, head over to the modular forum. There's a link in the description below. See you in the next puzzle.